Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and the Washington football team just lost to the Philadelphia Eagles 27-17 and fall to 6-8 on the season. Just too many injuries for the Washington football team to overcome. So we're going to be recapping the game in today's video, talk about some of the biggest takeaways and much more. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Hit that like button. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a video, and check out WinView. Let's get right into the video. Just a really frustrating loss for the Washington football team, because I feel like if they were healthy this game, or at least somewhat healthy, because not only do they have all of the COVID cases, but they're also just generally not very healthy. I feel like if we were somewhat healthy in this game, it could have been a much closer game and we could have won it. But at the end of the day, that's just not the situation. We're down a ton of men and we couldn't get the job done. Let's start with Garrett Gilbert. 20 for 31, 194 yards, took 2 sacks. Not terrible, but he wasn't great today. He's not, the main reason we lost. We'll get to that in a little bit, but there were just too many, passes that, the receivers had no chance to get. Sometimes he had a clean pocket and he would just throw it and it's like in the dirt 5 yards, in front of the receiver. There's just, many throws like that in the game. Took a bad sack before the half. Did have a touchdown drop by Adam Humphries. Adam Humphries has to come down with that. That was a good throw by Garrett Gilbert. Garrett Gilbert started off the game pretty strong, but I felt like that middle portion of the game, that kind of end of the second quarter to the, most of the second half, he just wasn't great for us. Not the main reason we, didn't win at the end of the day, but I think Taylor Heinicke or Kyle Allen would have been pretty successful against this Eagles defense. The Eagles defense was not bad at all, but I think we would have been able to do a lot more things with Taylor Heinicke and Kyle Allen, because the playbook you could see was very limited with Garrett Gilbert, and he really doesn't have much mobility. So teams know he's not going to be able to run, and that's not the case with Taylor Heinicke and even Kyle Allen as well. Both of those guys are pretty mobile, but the offense today it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Gibson, 15 carries, 26 yards, 1.7 yards per carry. Like, that's just terrible. And, obviously not all on him. Yards per carry is a misleading stat. He had that toe injury, and some of the runs are just not schemed up properly. That one run, he got -6 yards, but still Gibson didn't look explosive today. Probably has to do with that toe injury, but still, I don't know. The run game wasn't, going well today. And yeah, it has to step up. Jarrett Patterson, 4 carries, 20 yards. Had that, touchdown, so that was good, but also had a fumble, which was concerning early on in the game. I think if he didn't have that fumble, he would have gotten a lot more carries. DeAndre Carter had that nice run. He had a one run, and he also had another play where it got called back because of us, Sadiq Charles' blindside block. I didn't really think it was that much of a blindside block, but still, even if it was, it had no effect on the play. Sadiq Charles, I don't know why he was doing that, because, for me in this game, Scott Turner, most of the game, I didn't like what he was doing. I thought it was very predictable, running on second down. We wanted to run the ball. We knew that, but at this, I wanted us to run the ball, but at a certain point, it's pretty predictable, especially on second down, and I thought they should have done a little bit more. And another thing is, man, Terry McLaurin only having 2 catches is just criminal. Only 4 targets. I mean, it's just so frustrating, man, that, your best player on offense by far only gets 4 targets. Like, I understand he's going up against a solid cornerback, and you have limitations on offense, especially at the quarterback position, but still, Terry McLaurin should not be getting 4 targets in a game at all. Like, the minimum is 6, in my opinion. Like, Adam Humphries got 6 targets in this game. Terry McLaurin should be getting that every game at the minimum. Scott Turner, like I said, predictable at times. The thing is, at times, especially on that, drive where I think we went on a 69-yard drive with a touchdown, like that drive, he was so creative, had that nice, gutsy 3rd and 1 call where, every time this year, 31 times on 3rd and 1, we ran it, and this is like the only time we passed the ball. It was a great kind of bootleg play right there, play action, I can't remember, and he makes, Garrett Gilbert makes it's a tough throw, a little bit underthrown, but still a good throw to John Bates, who almost scores. I really wanted that touchdown for him, but at least Jarrett Patterson was able to finish it off. And a couple plays before that, he has that creative play call with, I can't remember who snapped it, but they tossed it to DeAndre Carter, or Garrett Gilbert got it, tossed it to Gibson, I think, and Gibson tosses it to DeAndre Carter, and DeAndre Carter has like a 30-yard gain, but of course it gets called back because of a meaningless, stupid blindside block by Sadiq Charles. So that was unfortunate, but it really had no effect on the game because we were able to score on that drive. So at least we were able to do that. Receiving wise, Gibson, he was solid in, receiving wise. John Bates had one catch for 29 yards. He only had one target. Like, I know Ricky Seals-Jones was back, but I don't need Ricky Seals-Jones having 7 targets. I do not need that to happen. 7 targets, that's way too much. Give Ricky Seals-Jones 4-ish targets. Give one of those 3 targets at least to Terry, and a couple more to John Bates. Like, John Bates needs some more targets. He's a rookie, and he's been pretty good for us. So I just don't like that he only got 1 target in this game with Logan Thomas down, Sammis Reyes out. You really only have 2 tight ends, and they do get 8 targets, but John Bates only gets 1 of those. And then Cam Sims, I think he needs a little bit more of an opportunity. He only got 1 target, had a nice catch, and he's had some big catches for us this year, just not getting much of an opportunity. And then DeAndre Carter had a couple catches for 12 yards. He had that bobble. But yeah, our offense just wasn't great today. And De'Ami Brown, another game with not even basically playing. He was, taking a few snaps on offense, but he was relegated to gunner on special teams. So he's been a non-factor all year. Disappointing pick. We'll see if he's able to bounce back. So that's really kind of the recap on offense. Now let's go to defense. I mean, you look at Jalen Hurts' stats right now, 20 for 26, 296 yards, a touchdown and an interception. But the interception, that's a fluke play. We got so lucky because not only did Dallas Goedert drop a wide open pass that would have gotten 10, 20 plus yards, but he also, kicks it and right to Landon Collins. It's a great play by Landon Collins, being aware, but that's just a lucky play. And, that's not on Jalen Hurts at all. That was actually a good play by Jalen Hurts, but it gets docked on his stat sheet, or it gets put on his stat sheet, which is unfortunate for him. But 20 for 26, but Dallas Goedert had 2 or 3 drops, and Kenneth Gainwell, I think it was him, who had another drop. So really, I mean, Jalen Hurts was like 23 for 26. I mean, we just could not stop the Eagles at all on offense. I mean, I put out a tweet at the end of the first half saying, like, this defense has been terrible in the first half, and people were, coming from me saying that is not true at all. And they were saying, oh, we've only allowed 10 points and we, forced 2 turnovers. But if you really look at it, one of those turnovers was a fluke turnover. The other one was a nice play by Montez Sweat, but they were moving the ball down the field constantly on us, and we were kind of getting bailed out either on some penalties, like Jordan Mailata with a terrible holding call, or not holding call, that was obvious, but I don't know why he did that, because he didn't need to do that. He was blocking Bobby McCain. And then also, the drops. So, they were marching the ball down the field on us in the first half. They just weren't able to convert. Right in the second half, they're able to do it. I mean, the injuries do suck because, we had William Jackson out for basically the whole game. Cameron Curl out, and that's the biggest loss, honestly, on the whole team besides Taylor Heineke or Kyle Allen, because in my opinion, he would have been able to lock up Dallas Goedert because he is so good against tight ends and running backs, and I think he would have, Dallas Goedert still might have had a solid day, but not 7 catches for 135 yards, and really, I mean, he dropped 2 wide open passes. He really could have had 9 catches for 170 yards on 9 targets. Cameron Curl not being there is a huge loss. Kendall Fuller not being there is a loss, and same thing with William Jackson. But, we had most of our defensive line, and they were, very disappointing, especially in the run game. And a lot of that also is on the linebackers. Gonna, want to watch the film back on that, see if there was the linebackers, filling in the gaps, or if it was just on the D line. They were getting the offensive line, the Eagles offensive line was getting so much push every single time. I don't know if it was conditioning. These guys, been out with COVID for like a week. Maybe that's part of it, or they are just getting outmatched by this Eagles rushing attack, which has been great all year. But today, man, averaging 6 yards a carry. Miles Sanders had 7.3 yards per carry, 131 total yards. Jordan Howard had 70 yards, and Jalen Hurts was solid as well. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. So, that's just... Our run defense was terrible. Our defense in general was just getting gashed all day. And yes, the offense was not good, but that is to be expected. That is to be expected when you're on your 4th string quarterback with, it's 4th string, but really it's 3rd string because Fitzpatrick only played for a quarter. But you're on your 4th string quarterback. You have Brandon Sheriff out, Cornelius Lucas out, but Sam Cosmi was okay in the game. And then you have Curtis Samuel, J.D. McKissick out, Logan Thomas out, and I'm missing others on the offense as well. You don't expect them to go out there and score 20 plus points with all the injuries and, other players that are out. You don't expect them to go out there and play great on offense, but, the defense, in my opinion, really let us down in this game. Let's go over some, player performances in the game. Jonathan Allen was okay in this game. He got a sack. He was getting held a ton, in my opinion. I just saw them, holding him, play after play after play. But there was a couple times where I didn't, wonder if Jonathan Allen is fully healthy because he did have that groin injury. Not sure if he's totally recovered from that, but still got a sack today, up to 8.5 on the season. Had a solid day. Not his best game, but was solid. Let's see. Montez Sweat got a sack, but besides that, didn't see him do much. The run game, his run defense wasn't great, but he got that sack. He had an impact play, so that is great to see right there. Had a forced fumble, and yeah, he was good today. And Deron Payne didn't see much, and I didn't see him get much pressure at all on, Jalen Hurts, and obviously wasn't a factor in the run game, so he wasn't good. Landon Collins was pretty good. It's just unfortunate he got hurt. I know he, came back in there, but I'm not sure if he was there for the whole rest of the game, but obviously wasn't himself, but, got that interception. It's lucky, but it's still a great reaction play by him to be there at the right time and still come up with it, and should have been a touchdown, but the refs blew it dead. And, he also had the fumble that he, recovered, and then he did fumble, but still heads up play by him right there. So he had a pretty good game, and I really think he's making a case for himself for Washington to keep him this season, or this next season. Let's see. Cole Holcomb was okay, not great in the run game, but made some nice tackles. Jeremy Reeves, I know he's a fan favorite, but he did not have the best game. He had a really nice tackle on their tight end. It knocked him out, but it was a low hit, but still it was a good play by Reeves. But he allowed that big catch on that Dallas Goedert had. That was good coverage, but still he kind of got mossed in that play. But that's to be expected when you're going up against Goedert. Had another play where Greg Ward scored the touchdown on him. Wasn't terrible coverage, but still you would like him to be able to stop him there. And there were just a bunch of other plays that he allowed, some big plays. So Jeremy Reeves didn't have his best game. We really, it would have been nice to have Cameron Curl back. Jamin Davis, just another subpar game. We have to, again, with a lot of these defensive players, especially linebackers and, safeties, cornerback, you have to go back and watch the film to see, how they actually played. But I did not like what I saw from Jamin Davis. He had a couple nice tackles, but didn't seem like he was great in coverage and missed some tackles as well. Oh man, Jamin Davis, I was trying to give him time, and it's still super early, but he just doesn't seem like he's it. He really doesn't. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he can, come back and next year and ball out, but he just didn't look good for us today, and really all season. KC Tuel, didn't really see much from him. Bobby McCain was okay today. He wasn't bad for us. And really the rest of the guys, Rutimi got the sack, and then Daniel Wise, unfortunate for him, that low dirty hit by the Eagles player. I forgot who it was, but I think it was Dallas Goedert, who it should have honestly been a penalty. I think it was out of the box, but it was a low hit on Daniel Wise, and he's probably out for the year with whatever knee injury that he has. Unfortunate, really unfortunate for him, and because he was playing solid for us, but overall defense disappointed, especially in the run game. So now at 6-8, it's going to be really tough for Washington to make the playoffs, and it's unfortunate, they're dealing with a ton of injuries, but that's just how it goes. And yeah, they're going to have to probably win out if they want to make the playoffs, and it's going to be tough. I mean, the Giants game should be easy because it will be Jake Fromm or Mike Glennon starting, but the other two games are going to be tough. The other two games are going to be really, really tough. I think they can, though, beat the Eagles at home if they're going to be a lot more healthy than they are now with a different quarterback. They could beat the Eagles. The Cowboys, though, that's going to be a very, very tough game to beat, but we'll see if they're able to do it. Special teams, I thought DeAndre Carter was really, really good today. Didn't muff anything and had 2 kick returns for or he averaged 33.5 yards per kick return. So that's good for him, and one of those kind of got called back. So let's see. And then Tress Way was good as usual, averaged 48 yards per punt and had a 60-yard punt on the day. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Let's look at our win view picks. We did pretty good. We, landed 4th on the list and won $4. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out WinView. Use my code link in the description. Yeah, you can enter some nice contests, play against your friends. Yeah, it's really, really fun. So yeah, like I said, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what you guys thought about the game and our chances for the rest of the season. Disappointing, but it is what it is. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.